All right. So this week we've got Sophie with us. Sophie is from 3T Fitness down in Bendigo, running multiple locations. Got her boot camp. You can see in the background, former athlete, triathlon, I believe. Yeah, was it triathlon?
Yeah, triathlete. Yep.
Yep. Representing Australia. So comes in from a sporting background. And yeah, Sophie, do you want to just give Loretta a bit of a rundown on your business and what it is you do? And
Yeah. Okay, so I was in the army, and that's where they trained me up as a physical trainer way back when I was 18. I got put straight through in the army, and that's where I got my foundations and all my beliefs and how to train people and boot camps. And I was a professional athlete, and then just did that for 4 or 5 years and decided, let's get your own gig. That was up in Darwin, so I started my own gig, and my boot camps just on the foreshore at Darwin was really good, and just kicked off really slowly just as an additional thing with my as an athlete as well, because that's your priority. You just want to train all the time. So just a little come and then I thought, we need to get a bit of gym experience. So I worked at multiple gyms, Charles Darwin University, Fernwood, couple of gyms, and just that wasn't for me, the gym industry. I love the outdoors. That's where my knowledge is all outdoors. So I just put into place being an athlete. So ended up moving back to Bendigo with and had a couple of kids. So then it's just where I grew up. So it's really good because I knew the town. That's where I grew up. I've just put all my fitness from being an athlete into training people and my knowledge from the army. So I started off really slowly in Bendigo. I used to get 3 people, 4 people at boot camp. Used to just keep on going. And I didn't care because I was like, oh, well, I'm training with them. I'm having fun. I'm doing a good session, and I had a prime location. And it did take a good year to get some numbers. And I just did a good job. I never worried about anybody else. It slowly built up year after year, and we decided, we might get an indoor venue 3 years ago. So we got like a HIIT gym and a CrossFit gym. Yep. Kind of started that, and then we're like, blow it, we'll get a boxing gym. So now we've got a boxing gym as well. So we run 3 locations, but my passion is the boot camp, passion's the running and that, but we do have the variety, I guess, as well now.
Very cool. I'll jump in with a bunch of questions off the bat there. So you're running the HIIT gym and the boxing gym and the boot camp. Now, in regards to your members, are they the same cohort that goes to each one, or will they bounce between, like the boxing on Tuesday, and then on Wednesdays the boot camp, and then on Thursdays the CrossFit class, or how's that sort of all put together?
They have you remember it all, and you're on an app. So we've got our own app, 3T Fitness app, and they can go to all of them, but they do bounce a lot, but they generally stick to the one location. So they seem to, my outdoor girls and guys, they love the outdoor. They might do one boxing and all their other sessions of the week. Some bounce all over the place, but generally they'll always be boxers, and they might come to one run session, or they'll be HIIT people and they'll just come to, So generally they like to stick to their own area or shed or venue, we call it, yeah. But I reckon
are the venues far away from each other, or are they fairly close together, or?
All 10 minutes. So there's like a lake, and then 10 minutes to one and 10 minutes the other, and they're on opposite sides of town.
Okay. So, yeah. I mean, it shows you the different niches and different audiences you can get. And so you've got the app that manages them all. Everyone goes to their main interest, so to speak. What was in regards to having the locations, like with the boxing one and let's say the HIIT one being both indoors, was there a reason you didn't just incorporate them into the one venue, or what was the?
Yeah, so we'll be traveling along really well with just the one HIIT gym. And then I heard a really sad story about the lady who owned the boxing gym, and she was just going to close it down. And I just said, look at those people trying to just give it, I'll buy it. And I just bought it. So we just
kind
of we didn't know if it was going to go anywhere, but it has, and we get 300 people through a week. So, and we built it up. They were only getting sort of 10 for the day. We bought it with a bit of a risk, and we've never looked back. just so that was the reason. We weren't looking for it. It just sort of felt bad, and then why not? I'm a cardio box fit type of girl, but then I have some good boxing coaches that help me out there a couple of days a week after their full-time jobs.
Yeah, wow. Okay, so we'll step back and we'll try and break it all down. If you've got questions, Loretta, let us know.
Yeah.
So the boot camp, how many sessions a week are you running for boot camp? Like the outdoor
12
one?
outdoors.
12? And that's just
Yeah.
like morning and night sort of thing? Or is it like essentially, yeah? And then, so let's go the HIIT gym, same sort of thing. How many are you running?
Yeah. So each gym is exactly the same, and we run consecutively 3 sessions at the 1 hour.
Okay, okay. So like that's, 6 a.m. you've got boot camp, HIIT, and boxing going on at the same time.
All running. Yep. So we do that, and we even work 7 days a week. So, but on the Saturday, Sunday, we don't have them all running on the weekends. But yeah, during the week, each session is on at each gym. So basically we're 3 different gyms, or 3 different things, and we just run it like that. So 6 a.m. and then 9:30 a.m. as well. And then 5:45 p.m. is our sessions.
There you go.
5 days. Yeah.
So, and then obviously, even being close together just shows you like how much, like how much growth there is. Like often people where we are, they're like, oh, you can't have a boot camp here because this person's got a boot camp 5 minutes down the road, and you can't do this here because this person's there. I mean, you're essentially running 3 competing businesses within 10 minutes of each other on yourself. And you'd think that it would almost like, you'd cannibalize itself. Exactly right. But it's obviously just doing really well for you.
Yeah. Oh, we certainly are thinking about shutting one down for the management side of it, or to just be a really good 2-venue shop. So the box and the boot camps is what no one else has.
Yep.
The HIIT, the Meta Power is popping up everywhere. Like that is just saturated. So for us, if we're going to close anything down, we'll close the HIIT gym and just concentrate on what we're good at. But at the moment, let's just see what spring brings, and we'll keep doing the 3. But yeah, it's hard to find staff. I need
that was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was going to be my next question is how have you, like, how do you go with like trying to manage it or like staff it, or because obviously you can't be in 3 places at once. You stay on the boot camp side of things, or do you bounce around, or what? How do you manage it?
Yeah, so I'm the outdoor girl that just does a couple at each gym just to oversee it. But my guys, we're all 40 plus sort of thing, and they have other jobs, and they just love it. They're passionate, and they know how to work. We know how to communicate. So they just do their 2 or 3 sessions. I don't overwork them a week, and that seems to work really well. And we communicate on a group chat, and everyone just has their own style. It seems to work okay, but yeah, it is a bit of work. So it's me and my husband. He's the accountant, doing this on the app all day as well as his other stuff, and then I'm the face of it and run around. But I need a staff. I'd love a young female. I'd get them from anywhere. I'd bring them down. I'll pay their removal. I need a trainer.
Have you posted in the group?
In that group? No, I haven't, but I need a young, fresh trainer that's ready to, because, I want to step away and work on the business a bit more. Getting older, and I can't find anyone with people skills that don't want to give up their full-time job.
Yeah.
Because they're all, 40 plus, you've got a really good government job, they can't give up that.
Yeah.
So I'm on the hunt.
Use that group, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Sure. You sure that's all right?
Yeah. That's fine. That's fine. Jono might even be able to do a post. Like if you ask Jono, he might even be able to do the share app for you. But yeah, definitely use it for sure, because there's lots of trainers there. And if you're looking for someone, anyway.
They've got the chance to. If I get someone good, like I've got a good business to bring them into. Forever. So I reckon it'd be a good change for someone. Anyway, it's just getting the word out there. I'm not going to rush.
What's the population in Bendigo? Just curiously, like, is it?
Where's my husband, Timmy? He knows all those. I don't know. It's sort of like Ballarat.
Yeah, it's not huge, right?
What's the population of Bendigo? 100,000.
100,000. Okay, so it's not huge. So like, I mean, if you're looking at, What's you're in Queensland? What's what's the one I'm thinking of that's inland? Toowoomba and place like that. What are they? They'd be like similar size, wouldn't they? They're not huge.
Yeah, exactly.
But they're not.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So again, it shows you like the possibilities, you know. So then so talking
Yeah.
like just breaking down sheer numbers if you want, Sophie. Like your you said boxing's bringing through about 300 people a week. Your boot camp.
250 visits a week.
And the hit.
The hit is at. We're a bit down. I think 220 a week.
But still, you're looking at there, what, 700, almost 800 people.
Visits. Yeah.
Visits.
Visits. So that's
800 visits. 800 visits a week. Is still pretty amazing across 3 venues. Like you know, like that's a large. And again, it's not like they're running consecutively. So you know, like they're unique sort of thing on each venue. You know, because you can't be in 2 in one day.
Yeah.
We certainly float up and we float down. So we hit 1,000 visits. January, February, March we hit 1,000 visits, and then we've gone down to 700. And this has been our worst winter, but I guess everyone's the same, and you just got to ride the wave.
Yeah. Yeah, that's an important message as well. Now, with, you know, being where you are, obviously I'm guessing you've got a bit of a name within your area. What's been the advertising strategy that you've used, or what have you relied on, or?
Well, yeah, like if you talk to a marketing company, I do everything wrong, but I just haven't had any. For a long time, I didn't have any structure. I just did my job well. So for a long time, it was word of mouth, 100%. It was being seen. It was logos and being good quality brand. And over time, they're just seeing it. And now I'm putting a lot more into marketing. It's more structured. So now, you know, we employ people to do the marketing and that. I've just started to get into that. But that's at the 8th year in Bendigo.
Yeah, wow. Okay, that was a question I forgot to ask.
Just doing a job well, getting shirts, little videos, having fun. Never really thought much about it. Never knew about all the Facebook. I just sometimes posted pictures. So I never did any of that side well. Okay. It was just running the session well, and they chatted over at work and things like that. But
you're using Instagram though, right? Like, because your Instagram's pretty.
Oh, yeah.
That's newer. Okay. Because your Instagram's pretty good.
I don't have a clue. I just post stuff because I'm having fun, and I feel like if you're seen, it's good to be seen a lot and just keep in people's faces and have a good brand. Like I know that we're a good, unique brand, so you know where else is really good at the outdoors and the running and the coaching of marathons and stuff like that. So I stick to what I know, and I don't worry about the others, the other gym.
That's a good message. That's a good message again as well. Like, not having to worry about your competitors, because I think that's one of the things that trainers often always are concerned about is what the person next to them's doing. You know, it's like whether you're in a gym or whether you're in a boot camp, it's kind of like, you always feel like you're competing against that person next to you for whatever reason, you know, whereas everyone's got their own message. Everyone's got their own way of delivering things. Everyone's got their own, you know, style. Yeah. So I think that's an important thing to remember as well.
Yeah, because you can't really change it. So, I mean, we all get a bit cranky, but you just do your own thing and you come through, I guess.
Yeah. Loretta, have you got anything you wanted to?
Oh, well, you've answered a few of my questions as you've gone, which has been really good. I think for me, just going back over my notes to see what I wanted to ask you, because I've been madly scribbling away. What is your niche, you would say, is just that you run the outdoor sessions really well? Would you have defined it as that when you started, that that's just your bread and butter core business, you know outdoors and you know how to do it really well? Yeah. And what's your clientele like? Was it a real mix of men and women? Is it mostly female? Who's your target market?
Yeah, sure. So 100% I'm just stuck to what I like and know, because if I start getting into even the boxing side of it, that's not my passion. So it's a real drag, which it shouldn't be, but I love outdoors. Every single session, I love going. It's just so easy for me. So I stick to what I love because then you're going to be long term. What I enjoy, I never think I've got to go through that trend. Like, I mean, you learn and you listen and you might implement bits of it, but I stick to what I like and know. My niche is 35 to 50-year-old women, but I do get a good mix of guys at nights, not in the mornings. Ratio female to male, 70-30. The footballers and that, once they come, they know that the boot camps and run squads are good for them. But generally, I find it's the women who have had their kids and they're starting to come back. We've gone away from the mums and bubs. I used to have all that, but now where they're a bit older, the mums, and they're ready to train again and love fitness again and bring it back. That's my, I guess that's my niche, and who don't mind sort of being told the truth.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a different market. So we've had 3 gyms pop up, really big, good gyms pop up in a month, and they've got full numbers. So there's people out there, but they have their own. So one of them's targeting young netballers, and they've got that full. One's targeting, you want the circuit interval heart rates up. They've got that full. So you just, you do what you do, and I think there's a market out there. Shows that, anyone can start up.
Yeah, nice. One thing I wanted to touch on, with all those people coming through the doors weekly, do you have, you said you had a group with your trainers that you're chatting with. Do you do the same thing with with the people from your various locations? Have you got them funneled into like a Facebook group, or what's the, do you do anything like that to try and create that community vibe amongst the 3 gyms, or do you sort of try and keep them, I try
and have it's a whole 3T fitness, so they're all 3T fitness. But then I do have a page like a Hip Pit, which is our boxing gym page, and then I have a 3T shed page. But it's usually I post always on the main 3T site. I don't have closed groups as such, unless they're doing a challenge. I know that it's highly recommended, but I'm very big on communication. So, for instance, I still text and know each client.
Yeah, wow.
Still.
Yeah.
And that's what's getting time consuming. So that's why I'd like to step a bit away to be able to continue that, because no one else coaches like that here. Because I'm always in the session, I'm getting a bit behind with that stuff, like knowing everyone, knowing their shifts, knowing their bodies. But I still know everyone.
Yeah. Well, across the 3 gyms, or? Impressive.
Yeah, no more. And I know their shifts, I know their sessions, I know. But it's all up here, so if I'm going loopy, I'm stuck.
Fair enough. So in regards to then, do you do anything which tries to bring everyone together, like once a month or anything like that, or do you try and capitalize on that sort of stuff, or?
Like I probably should, but I find that they're such family and sporting people that they find it really hard to come together. I might put on an event, like I got Commander Steve to come and put on a session, so he flew down and everything, and that was good. I only got about 60. I get more to my boot camp.
Yeah, wow.
So, and that was, so I get 70 through on my boot camp on a Saturday. I brought him down, I got 60. I do triathlons, I do fun runs, I do obstacle courses, I do Spartans. And so they like that. I do boot camp games.
Yep.
They like it, but I wouldn't say that I think it's just the bond in the boot camps and that I make it fun. And I have 3 weddings come through boot camp in the last 6 months. Been met and married through boot camp.
Yeah, wow.
So that's pretty cool.
As in people met each other at boot camp?
Yeah.
That is pretty cool. I mean, yeah, wow. That's
someone's had a baby recently, so that's 4 good couples that are long.
Wow.
Started from you. Yeah, well, there you go.
I went to a 30th, and her entire guest list was 3T Fitness boot campers. Like, you look around, it's mum and dad, and everyone was my clients. Like, it was amazing. And that's the sort of community we are. But yeah, you got to like me, and I'm not for everyone.
Well, I think it's important. I think it's important, obviously, with the army background and like even a professional sporting background, like they don't suffer fools in those sort of scenarios very often, because you're not going to get far. Like you're not sure if everyone's just a yes man sort of thing, and you're not going to achieve what you need to achieve, whether it be professional sport or whether it be in the army. Like they're not going to, they're not going to just hand it to you for the sake of it, right?
Yeah, so I like that, and I'm going to keep to it. I upset people sometimes,
but obviously you're doing something that works.
Must be doing something right.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, it's still a hard gig, isn't it? Like, certainly a hard gig. Yeah, like we work 7 days, both of us, with 2 kids. So the sacrifice is pretty big, but it's worth it.
But I did. And so you said you've been running running there now for 8 years. Yeah. So I mean, it's like you're trying to build this thing, and now, like you said, you're trying to get into this situation of trying to bring in some other people to look after some of the stuff that you're doing.
Yeah, and versatility, and a good people person's super hard. I was the campus director for AIPT, so I trained the trainers. So
that was actually going to be my next suggestion.
Yeah, so I trained the trainers for years, and
did you cherry pick the ones that you liked, or was it just...
Yeah, I do have 2 from it. But how do you say it? I didn't see a lot of.
It's hard, right? It's hard. Sometimes you need that experience as well, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't see anything in them, so that's all I could get out of that. And that's doing it for 5 years. So. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And it was a lot of time, so I've given that up this year, resigned from that, and just concentrate on my business really. But yeah, I reckon if I can get a trainer that likes boot camp, a female, and it's not a lot of hours. Like I don't work a lot of hours. It's just that it's every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
can be tiring. That can be tiresome. Even if you can, like you said, if you get someone in to do a few of the sessions, that's an important thing to try and get as well, so you can get time off as well, which is equally important. Because that burnout is, like the burnout, you starved off with success. You just keep going with success, but it catches up at some point.
Yeah. No, we're onto it, but we're just got to find the right person or get some interest from elsewhere, I reckon. Never know, they might want to see change.
Yeah, you never know. And Loretta, any questions coming up from there, Loretta?
I think for me, it's just getting a real clear sense of the fact that it's you, I think, that people are really drawn to and are coming to, very much so, and that you haven't kind of wavered in your vision and what you've wanted to, your style, I guess, which is a really good thing, because it can be really hard to not kind of be distracted by what others are doing and shiny things in the corner. The only other thing, I guess, for me is, so you've got the 3 locations and you've got the boot camp, and you're saying there's not much crossover between. Do you feel that they're really good complement, or do you think, I don't know how to put this, because I guess in my head I've always had that debate of whether or not I'd want to open a location down the line and have a physical bricks and mortar space. Is it worth it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I think so, because what I can do is I can prepare less equipment at boot camp, and I suggest that they go to the strength session, and it's a lot less work on my body, setting up all the kettlebells, setting up all the... So it's a lot of body weight stuff now, and they're okay with that because they can go to the shed, and it's just so much easier, it's safe underground. So for me, yes, 100%, it's worth it, and I like to train them as well. So it's nice to have a bit of a mixture, and if you've got the overheads under control, it's worth it. And the systems, you've got to have good systems with what we've worked out. So staff will know what's going on. We pay a lot of money for a good mind-body system.
Yep. Okay. So you use the MindBody Online as your app, and you have a branded app. Is that how you?
And then we have our own app as well. Yep. So and just making things easy for people to see, and just keep getting out there and doing what you do. But I definitely reckon a venue's good.
And with your pay, how do clients pay? Like, what are your fees and rates if they're across multiple locations? Is it a monthly amount that covers everything, or is it a 10-pack, or how many challenges are you running, direct debits? Like, what's the structure around that?
Yeah, so we've changed a lot. It used to be just $10 cash way back, and we did that for years, and I wouldn't come around to it forever, and then I finally come around to it. So now we're direct debit, there's options. There's casual rate, $12. Come in, pay casual. I reckon that's a ripper. We don't rip them off because they're just casual. That's fine. Like if they want to do one session, they pay casual. We have a 10-pack, same about $10 a session. And then we have a direct debit. So the most anyone will pay for unlimited gold is $44. They get all the 57 sessions a week. So that's how we do it. It's kind of on the cheaper side than I'd like. But when there's $20 gym memberships with pools and all the same sessions other than my boot camp, you kind of got to come down. And we have a venue-only $30 membership. So if they just want to go boxing, have a boxing membership. That's fine.
Okay.
So that's how we roll. But the direct debits, if we can get them on that, really help us know what we're doing with finance.
It makes a massive difference. I wanted to go back on one thing. I think someone just said the word challenge. You said you run challenges at times. What sort of challenges are you talking about when you're running those? What are you doing with those?
Yeah, I do a 12-week challenge 3 times a year.
Okay.
And I've just got a little cafe so they can pick up the meals. And so in my boxing gym, it's a really tiny cafe, and they can pick up the meals if they want for the challenge, or they get a meal plan. It's just clean eating. We don't have any restrictions or anything on food, but just clean eating. We give them a bit of a guide.
Sort of a weight loss challenge predominantly, or is it
a weight loss or healthy living challenge? And inside that they get their measurements. We do something fun once a month. It might be a breakfast. I put on a yoga and I put on platters. So this weekend I'm putting on clean slices. So you come, you get measured in that, have a chat, and you get clean snacks to nibble on, and it just keeps it in a group. And I just really motivate them and come on, and because they're all motivating each other. If they slip, we just say it. So yeah, that's that.
So is that just part of how do they, because you run 3 of them throughout the year, does that fit in with their regular fees and anyone can join it, or how do you sort of manage the?
Yeah, it's $10 extra. So if they want to go on the challenge, it's $10 extra. I did a couple where members all got it for free and they all wanted the material. No one did it. So it cost a lot in giving the material.
Okay.
They did it. So now I feel like if they pay that $10 extra a week, they actually commit to it.
Yep.
So I don't give them it all now. It's just if they want to commit, they do it. And that picks up a couple of new clients every time. Not a lot, but it picks up
it's a great marketing. Like that's when you're talking about starting to run these different marketing stuff, that is 100% what I would be advertising.
Yeah. So that's been all right. We're in our last week of one at the moment, so it's pretty good. But the mindset and just making people healthier is our biggest thing from that. They all lose a lot of weight, but just getting people healthy, really.
Yeah.
Good minds.
Yeah,
that's good. That sounds good. And then are you doing any of the online challenge stuff with it as well, or it's just simply like just sharing the material? Like, do you do like the walking challenge or anything like that with them through those things?
Yeah, so I've set a few little things, and they've got to post weird planks. They've got to do this, do that, and I give them home workouts as well for if it's a bad week or bad day. They've got that material as well. So it takes a bit of setting up. So to have it really
once it's set up, it's basically runs on autopilot. Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess you only have a certain amount of members, so you've got to expect the challenges to go down in people once they all start doing it.
Yep.
A lot because they've got the
material.
Yeah.
I guess, but that's okay. It's no loss because you've already got it set up.
Yeah.
So do it properly, and I see a lot of online things that aren't really done properly, and I'd rather do it properly and.
Yeah. And so that'd run across all the gyms though as well, right? Like that'd run across like the boot camp person or a boxing person. They can just sign up. They can all funnel into that same thing. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Pretty much just all one, but they kind of head to their own little areas, or you all meet up. Usually Saturday they all come to boot camp. So whoever they are, they all sort of come and join, and that's my big session, and I pump through 60, 70 people on Saturday morning.
Wow.
I run pretty hard. I have a secondary, so he follows me around.
Yeah, fair enough. And anything else on your end then, Loretta?
Oh, no, I think that they were excellent. That really sort of honed in and answered my questions around the challenge. Your pricing structure it's really great to know exactly how you're sitting and how it sits in your market as well, and how you're juggling the locations too. So, I really think that for me, that's probably all my questions answered. Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds good, guys. Well, I think anything else you wanted to share, Soph?
No, just find me a trainer.
Find your trainer, yeah. For sure, get in and get in on the group.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Easy,
I'll do
guys.
that.
Sounds
Okay.
good. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Sophie, and good to see you again,
Thank you,
Loretta.
Sophie. Yeah,
And we'll see
likewise,
you
Travis.
again Monday.
Perfect.
No problem.
See you guys.
See ya.
Excellent.
Bye.
Thanks, Sophie. See ya.